Hi, my name is Aileen Joya, and I graduated in 2016.
Aileen, what did Youth for Tomorrow mean to you when you got here? I'm sure when you come back, you've got good feelings from your time here. But at the time you came here, what did it mean to you?
It meant a lot. My dad had suffered a stroke, a massive stroke, and I had to leave him to come here, or else I wasn't going to graduate, and I wasn't going to be who I am today.
What did Youth for Tomorrow provide to you when you came? You had your situation, and this is where you had to come. But what were some of the lessons you learned here, and maybe some of the positive things that Youth for Tomorrow meant to you?
Youth for Tomorrow helped me not only in my education, but spiritually as well. I learned so many things from the pastor, from Pastor Denny. I learned a lot from everyone who was working with Pastor Denny. I also learned a lot about myself and who I really was and what I wanted to be in life. And I don't think I would have gotten that anywhere else.
Why is this place special?
It's special because I wasn't in the best path. I was leaving home, running away, doing drugs, and I wasn't proud of myself. But this place is special because it gave me just what I needed. I needed to be loved. I needed to be understood, and they gave me that. All the staff did.
I'm sure you're amazed by how much this place has grown. You have seen it grow. It grew a lot before you got here, too. But what sense of pride do you have in this facility?
I don't think it comes as a surprise at all. Youth for Tomorrow deserves everything it has and more. I see myself a lot in this place because I see a lot of kids who need help. And I've actually recommended this place for a couple kids who I see struggling, and I'm like, they can help you. They can help you. And that's one of the things that I admire the most, and that's why they deserve it all. And I'm really happy in how big it's actually gotten. It's amazing.
It is amazing, and it keeps growing. And a lot of folks have talked about advice that they give to other kids who might find themselves in similar positions. And so tell us about yourself now, because you have transitioned into a different part of life, and everybody here is so proud of you. So tell us about what's happening now with Aileen.
Well, I didn't technically get married, but I do have my fiance, and I do have a baby. His name is Miguel. I can't ask for more. I am so happy where I am in life, and I promise you that if it wasn't for YFT, I wouldn't be here alive today. I wouldn't be here spending time with a child that I never thought that could love me or I can love him as much as we do.
When did you realize that this location, this place, would have this type of impact on you while you were here? Did it take some time for you to understand what it was about, or did it immediately hit you? When did you know that this was going to be an important location for you?
I think when I graduated. When I first got here, I hated it. I did not like it. I was like, I'm getting taken away from my parents and I do not want it. But then I realized that this is exactly what I needed. When I went to school, and I had so many people who helped me out to just one-on-one work and help, and any aspect I needed, they were there to help me.
Do you have any, other than Pastor Denny, because we all love him, do you have anybody else here at Youth for Tomorrow? Tell me about Dr. Gary Jones. What has he meant to you and to the kids here?
I think my biggest appreciation is to Dr. Gary Jones. He was the one who pitched the idea to Jennifer Bergman to get me to go live with her after I left YFT. And I think that if I would have never went with Jen, I don't think I also would be here. Jen was the one who brought me here, and she was the one who took me when I graduated.
So when you look at the grounds, how do you feel? When you pull in the front gate here now as a mother, and you've moved on in a very positive way, describe your feelings when you come back here.
Oh, when I was pulling up, turning in here, I was actually wanted to cry, and I just was full of happiness. I'm like, I can't believe the where I am now. I can't believe I came here and I succeeded as much as I have.
You mentioned earlier that you might not have been here. If you weren't here, you might not even be here on this earth, and things could have turned out differently for you. How so? How so? In a sense that did you not have what you needed prior to coming here?
Yes, I didn't. And it's not to discredit my parents because they did as much as they actually could. And I think what I needed was more. And they didn't know how to give it to me. But I was hanging with gang members. And I hung out with some of them when I was much younger. And they were very nice to me. And, they took me as a family. And I thought that, this other type of crew was the same way. And they weren't that way. And I just tried looking for love and everything that I wanted from my parents in a relationship or any type of love or affection that I got from anyone. I dived right into it because that's what I wanted. But when my dad had his stroke, I was in the hospital with my dad on the rehab facility. And Jen was actually one of my dad's clients. And Jen came to visit my dad, and she saw how overwhelmed I was, so she invited me to dinner. When I went to dinner with Jen, I don't know what got into me, but I just poured my heart out to her. It just felt right. And when I did, I think she saw she saw right through me. She saw exactly what I needed. So she was the one who helped out my father to get better at the rehab center, and I came here. Unfortunately, my dad was still at the rehab center when I came, so I was very bittersweet when I first got here, but if it wasn't for Jen, I really wouldn't be here.
You've got a good friend in her. To wrap it up, what lessons might you pass on to your child now that you have a child, and that's a big responsibility? But I would think some of the lessons learned here are going to get passed down.
Well, first and foremost, I'm going to implicate how important it is to get close to God and be with Him all the time and confine in Him and not in other people. And second of all, to confine in His parents because we do want the best for him. And the biggest lessons that I've taken from here are from the other girls that I was living with here at Laura Louise. The other girls were very hurt, and you can see that. And they just needed a hug. And they were so damaged and hurt, they wouldn't even let anyone near you. And I never want my son to get to that. So the first and foremost is love. Because YFT gave it to us, gave it to the kids who needed it. And still is. And still is to me.
Yeah.
And I'm 23 years old.